This summer, I'm going to a lot of amusement parks, 5 of which I've never been to before. And I will be riding a lot of coasters I have never been on. Some point this summer, I am going to go on my 200th coaster. In June, I am probably going to Six Flags St. Louis, and at the end of July, I'm going to Dorney Park, Six Flags Great Adventure, Knoebels, and Hershey Park. That means I will ride almost 50 roller coasters I have never been on before, and I am very excited to do that. Today I've decided I will rank the top 30 of those 50 coasters. A lot of the coasters that did not make the list are either clones or kiddie coasters or just family coasters or clones like Wild Mice or Mine Train coasters that I don't really care about that much to put on the list. So basically, almost all of the coasters that are in the top 30 are pretty good ones. And if you're wondering which park I'm most excited to go to, I'm most excited to go to Hershey Park because that has been a bucket list park for a long time for me. And it just looks like an awesome park. Number 30, Batman the Ride, the one at Six Flags St. Louis and the one at Six Flags Great Adventure because they're the same thing. I don't even know if I'm going to ride these because I absolutely hate waiting in line for these things when they have one train. I've also already been on the one at Six Flags Great America and Six Flags Over Georgia, so yeah, I don't really care about these that much. They're fine. I honestly like almost every other invert better than these, maybe except for like Afterburner and Banshee. Number 29, Comet at Hershey Park, a PTC Woody. Yeah, I don't really know much about this coaster. I just know that it's a little PTC wooden coaster. You can't really go that wrong with those. They can be rough, but sometimes I enjoy rough wooden coasters. And I haven't heard bad things about this coaster, so I'm expecting it to be pretty decent or good. Maybe it'll actually be pretty good. And number 28 is Pandemonium at Six Flags St. Louis, which is a Pandemonium clone, but I haven't been on the other clone ones. This is a Mauer spinner. I haven't been on any Mauer coasters yet, so that's why I'm excited to ride this one. I also enjoy spinning coasters and think that they can be very enjoyable. Number 27, Iron Menace at Dorney Park. Nah, I am not really that excited to ride this one. I've heard it's really rough, and it's just a boring B&M dive coaster. A lot of dive coasters I enjoy, but I do think they're kind of boring, and especially with small ones like this, so I don't really care about this that much, but of course I will be riding it. But I've heard the last turn into the brake run is pretty rough. Number 26, Screamin' Eagle at Six Flags St. Louis, another PTC wooden coaster. This coaster, I think it is 50th anniversary this year, and I've heard it's really rough, but I still like wooden coasters. I don't really think there's much more to say about this, so let's move on to number 25. Thunderhawk, another wooden coaster, this time at Dorney Park. Originally opening more than 100 years ago, it first opened just called Coaster, but now it is called Thunderhawk. It has been called Thunderhawk for a while. I actually have been on an 100-year-old wooden coaster before, which would be Jackrabbit at Kennywood, and I love that coaster. Yeah, I don't expect this one to be as good as Jackrabbit, because I don't think any other coasters from the time are as good as Jackrabbit. Jackrabbit must be the best 100-year-old coaster. Can't really judge it on that because it's the only 100-year-old coaster I've been on. But I love old classic stuff, so Thunderhawk should be good. Number 24, Laugh Track at Hershey Park. Also another Mauer coaster. It is not a clone of Pandemonium, but it is a very similar layout, but I'm expecting this one to be much better since it is inside and has very good theming. There are many black ride decorations, and it is inside, so I'm actually really excited for this one. I have heard the capacity is really bad, and lines can be very long, but I am planning on getting a fast pass when I go to Hershey Park, so I don't really have to worry about that much. Number 23, Impulse at Knoebels, a Zero Tower coaster. Another knockoff Gerstlauer. I've been on a lot of knockoff Gerstlauers, not necessarily the ones made by Zero, but I've been on ones by S&S and other manufacturers too. But I'm not that excited to ride Impulse. I mean, if it's anything like Daredevil Dive at Six Flags Over Georgia, no, I'm not that excited for it. Number 22, Flying Turns at Knoebels. I'm not exactly sure if I should be more excited for this or less excited for this. I'm really excited to ride it because I'm not expecting it to be that great. I'm not expecting it to rank that high for me. But it's a wooden bobsled. I love the one bobsled I've been on, which would be Reptiliana King's Dominion. This one is made out of wood, so I don't know if this one will be rough, but I don't think it would, because it's less than 10 years old, and it took Knoebels a long time to make this, and it is absolutely one of a kind, and none other coasters like this exist anymore. So I think that is a very cool concept, and I'm excited to ride this. Number 21, Possessed at Dorney Park, an Intamin Impulse coaster. I have not been on any Intamin Impulse coasters because when I went to Six Flags Great America, Flash Vertical Velocity was closed, of course. They don't look to be spectacular, but I mean, the launches seem good, the spikes. I have heard the holding brake on Possessed hasn't worked for years, but maybe it will. Number 20, Great Bear, a B&M invert at Hershey Park. I don't know what to expect for this one. I've heard the layout and the pacing isn't great. I haven't heard about it being very good, but I like B&M inverts, so I think I'll like this one. Number 19, American Thunder at Six Flags St. Louis, a GCI wooden coaster. I don't really have much to say about this one. I really like GCI wooden coasters like Thunderhead and Mystic Timbers. Of course, this one's a little bit older than Mystic Timbers, and it's definitely not going to be as good as Thunderhead. So, I don't expect much of this, but I still think it'll be fun. Number 18, Talon at Dorney Park, another B&M invert. Okay, first off, the color scheme on Talon is amazing, and I've heard this ride is very good. There are some people who are absolutely obsessed with this ride for some reason, but I don't know if I'm going to like it or not because I haven't been on it yet. But I think I will, since I love B&M inverts, I love Whippy ones, and I love Raptor at Cedar Point, which this one looks to be kind of like. The layout looks similar, and as Whippy, maybe not as much, but almost as Whippy as Raptor at Cedar Point, so with that combined and the awesome color scheme and the really cool logo, I think I'm going to like Talon. Number 17 is Hydra, also at Dorney Park, a B&M floorless coaster. Right out of the station, this one has an inversion just like Copperhead Strike at Carowinds. Of course, that inversion won't have as much hang time as Copperhead Strike because Hydra has over-the-shoulder restraints and Copperhead Strike has lap bars. I'm still really expecting to love this coaster. All the inversions looks awesome, but I think it might have a little bit of head banging. Number 16, Steel Force, another Dorney Park coaster. This one made by Morgan. I actually have been on a Morgan Hyper before. I've been on Phantom's Revenge at Kennywood. I love that coaster, but this Steel Force is very different from that. I don't think the airtime on Steel Force is going to be that great because I've heard Steel Force is kind of just a boring coaster. It's slow. The hills don't really deliver any airtime. I haven't really heard any good things about it, and I've heard that the trim brakes are pretty strong on this one, so I'm not really expecting much, but I don't know. Maybe it'll surprise me. Number 15 is Twister at Knoebels. I think Twister looks like a very good wooden coaster. Definitely not the best at Knoebels, because you'll see that later on the list, but I'm still excited to ride this. It looks like a very good Twister layout, as you can tell by the name, and I think the thing they did with the lift hills is pretty cool. Number 14, Flash Vertical Velocity at Six Flags Great Adventure, a new Gen Vekoma coaster. One of the new Gen Vekoma coasters I've been on is Siren's Curse at Cedar Point, and I absolutely freaking love Siren's Curse. So I think I'm going to like Flash Vertical Velocity. Even if Flash is a family coaster, I think the inversions still look cool, and it looks pretty intense for a family coaster too. I've heard that the spike is good and the launch is good. Only downside, the capacity and just the operations on this. The line's going to move very slow, but I do have a season-long Six Flags and Cedar Fair Fast Pass, so I don't really have to worry about that. But sometimes the Fast Pass lanes at Six Flags parks can also move extremely slow. Number 13 is Super Duper Looper at Hershey Park, a short-scop looping coaster. I have been on a few Schwarzkopf looping coasters before, and I absolutely love them. I love the signatures G-force-filled circular loops on Schwarzkopf coasters, so that means I'm really excited to ride this. This looks to be one of the best Schwarzkopf coasters, honestly. Even if it's a pretty old coaster, I still love classic coasters. Even if other coasters at Hershey Park have surpassed it in height and speed and length and everything, I still think this coaster has a place in the park. And next is Lightning Racer, also at Hershey Park. Lightning Racer is a GCI racing wooden coaster. I'm the type of person who counts racing coasters as 2 different credits. I don't care if that makes you mad or something, but I do. But they're going to have the same place on the list on here, because the layouts are different. It is a dueling coaster, meaning the layouts aren't the exact same or mirrored. This one looks like a pretty cool coaster because it looks pretty snappy, almost Mystic Timbers-like since it's made by GCI. And I just love GCI coasters. I love the layouts, the airtime, the ejector time, just all those turns and stuff. It's a lot of fun, and a lot of them have good laterals too. And the restraints are very comfortable. I don't think this one will run too rough because I think Hershey Park probably maintains their wooden coasters and retracts them a lot. I think this looks like it's going to be really good, and that's why it's ranked at number 12. That means number 11. Okay, yeah, some of you are going to get kind of mad at me for this, because number 11, I count it as a coaster, but a lot of you probably don't count it as a coaster, and yeah, this one is going on my coaster count. Sorry, not sorry. Demon Drop at Dorney Park, an Intamin first gen freefall coaster. I am so excited to ride this. I don't know, I'm kind of obsessed with Intamin freefall drop towers. Like the first gen ones. I'm obsessed with the first gen ones because this is like the last one in the US, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know there's one in Japan too. So there might only be 2 left in the world. If anyone knows more about this, please tell me. I count it as a coaster because, yeah, track, trains, runs on gravity, that's a coaster. When you go up, you end up on your back. I think this looks like a very good drop tower, and I love drop towers in general, and I'm just so excited to ride this, and I really, really, really hope it's open when I go to Dorney Park. Also, this used to operate at Cedar Point, which is very cool because I love Cedar Point. A fun fact about this coaster, not that many people know, is when they were taking this out of Cedar Point, they originally were planning on relocating this to Knott's Berry Farm, but instead they decided Dorney Park for reasons I'm not really sure, which I am glad they did it at Dorney Park since I'm going to be able to ride this. And Demon Drop looks amazing, and yeah, Demon Drop, yeah. Number 10 is Fahrenheit at Hershey Park, an Intamin vertical lift coaster. There aren't many Intamin vertical lift coasters, so this is a pretty unique one. Again, kind of a knockoff Gerstlauer, but still, knockoff Gerstlauers are better than real Gerstlauers in my opinion. After the vertical lift hill and the beyond vertical drop, there are tons of cool inversions in this, Gerstlauer-like inversions. And I don't think this is the best coaster at Hershey Park, but I still think this coaster looks pretty good. Next up on the list at the number 9 spot is Candymonium at Hershey Park. Fun fact, this is going to have to be the last B&M Hypercoaster I have to ride in North America to have North American B&M Hyper completion. Wait, what's that? Oh, Laurent? Laurent has a B&M Hyper? Oh, I'm never going there. Okay, just American B&M Hyper completion plush behemoth. So that's still pretty good, but I guess Laurent had to have a B&M Hyper. I'll just wait till that park closes until I can have completion. Candymonium looks like it is absolutely filled with floater airtime. Floater hill after floater hill after floater hill. And thankfully, this coaster was made before B&M got known for their rattle. So I'm expecting this to be glassy smooth with floater airtime. I don't think it'll rank at the top of my B&M Hyper list. I think it'll rank towards the middle and not quite the bottom. And if you're wondering, my favorite B&M Hyper coaster is Goliath at Over Georgia. And I also like Diamondback at Kings Island and Behemoth at Canada's Wonderland. For all the people who are complaining that this coaster has a stupid name, I think the name is fine and I actually think it's pretty cool. Number 8, a coaster that's pretty similar but older. Nitro at Great Adventure, another B&M Hyper coaster. This one looks to have more flowjector than ejector or floater, but I think this one looks good, and I tend to like the older B&M Hyper coasters better than the newer ones. So, yeah, I think Nitro will be a very good coaster. Number 7, Mr. Freeze at Six Flags St. Louis, a Premier Rides launch coaster. I love Premier Rides. This one is an LIM launch coaster, which I've been on others before, but this one I'm extra excited to ride. With the inverted top hat, and it just looks awesome. The inverted top hat, the spiked, the turntable, which is very cool, backwards launching. Yeah, I'm excited to ride Mr. Freeze. For a while, I've been like, oh, I really, really, really want to go on this coaster, and it's been a bucket list coaster for me, so I'm glad I'll finally be able to do that. Hopefully they're running 2 trains when I go so I can see the turntable work, and so the line won't be moving painfully slow. I wonder what Enchanted Parks will rename this coaster since they can't use DC superhero branding anymore. Number 6, Jersey Devil Coaster at Great Adventure. My first RMC Raptor single rail. Wow, I have also been waiting a long, long time to get on a single rail coaster. I've heard these ones, the bigger clones of the RMC Raptors, aren't as great as the smaller ones. They're not as whippy, but the hang time on that stall looks pretty good, and the pacing still looks pretty good. It still looks pretty whippy. And since I haven't been on any of them before and I don't have anything to compare it to, I'm still really excited to ride this. It's like all the parks with these coasters are pretty far away from me, so I'm glad to finally get on one of these, and I hope it lives up to my expectations. Number 5, the number 1 Golden Ticket Awards winning wooden coaster every year, Phoenix at Knoebels. I don't know if I'm going to think this coaster is really overrated or if I'm going to absolutely love Phoenix at Knoebels. I don't know. All I know is buzz bars, ejector airtime, almost standing up airtime, amazing laterals, buzz bars. Yeah, I love buzz bars on wooden coasters. So, yeah, I am pretty excited to ride this. I hope it's not too overrated, but yeah. Phoenix at Knoebels looks pretty good. No, it's definitely not the best wooden coaster in the world. I could probably name like 10 wooden coasters off the top of my head, including one that's at the top of this list. But, yeah, the Golden Ticket Awards can do whatever they want. I don't care. Number 4, Storm Runner at Hershey Park, an N&M hydraulic launch coaster. I haven't been on a hydraulic launch, but I have been on an air compressed launch, which is Max Force at Great America. Wow, air launches are punchy. What's even more punchy? A freaking hydraulic launch. I can't wait to experience that acceleration on the launch. It's probably so much better than LSM launches. And guess what? It's a hydraulic launch coaster with a top hat that actually has a layout. The flying snake dive looks like a very, very good inversion, and the forces on that must be really good, but not as good as the forces on that launch. Yeah, the main thing about this ride is the launch, but I'm still glad it has a layout, and the forces on the launch must be pretty amazing. Number 3, another Hershey Park N&M, this one being an N&M hypercoaster, Skyrush. Skyrush is a hypercoaster that has wing seats too. I don't know if it's rougher. I think it's supposed to be rougher on the wing seats than it is on the middle seats, but make sure to tell me in the comments. I've also heard this is definitely a back row ride. I've also heard things about that first drop and how much ejector, and people say they can't even describe the first drop. So I don't know how it's like, but I'm excited to do that. And all those turns and snaps on the coaster and all those cool smooth transitions, like wow, this coaster looks very, very good. And since they redid the restraints, it's not going to be that painful since Airtime Thrills likes it better now. Number 2, El Toro at Great Adventure. This one, I am really planning on making this coaster my 200th coaster. Right now, I'm at 188, and I am going to Six Flags St. Louis and Dorney Park before this coaster. So, yeah, this will be the first coaster I do at Great Adventure, because I don't want anything at Dorney Park or St. Louis to be my 200th coaster, so it's gonna be El Toro. I've heard from some people that El Toro can be pretty freaking rough, but I've also heard from a lot of people that it's really, really amazing and even the best wooden coaster. Or it's some people's number one coaster in general. I'm excited to ride El Toro. I think it probably delivers some good ejector airtime, good floater airtime, and just good forces in general. And I love wooden coasters, like I said numerous times in this video. I can't wait to see this and see where it ranks in my list of coasters, and see if it'll be a worthy 200 coaster. If you think my 200th coaster should be something else, comment down below. Number 1. Wildcats Revenge at Hershey Park, an RMC hybrid coaster. I've been on a lot of RMC hybrids, and overall, RMC is my favorite roller coaster manufacturer. That means I'm extra excited to ride this one because it's an RMC. Of course, this one is definitely not going to be as good as Steel Vengeance or, Iron Gwazi, which maybe for me this will be better than Iron Gwazi because I think Iron Gwazi is pretty overrated, but still, not better than Steel Vengeance or Air Force One. But Wildcats Revenge still looks like a very, very good coaster. The inversion on this looks absolutely amazing. It looks like such a smooth coaster, such amazing airtime. That's why it ranks number 1. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and make sure to have an axolotl day. Also, comment, subscribe, like the video. Bye.